Hey guys, I'm just gonna give you a review of Scalenut, which is a very powerful tool in AI content creation. I'll give you my honest opinion on it, both the things that I really like and also a few flaws that I would like you to be aware of before you purchase. So I'm gonna show it all to you in this video. If you would like to follow along, there is a link here down that you can use to sign up for a free account that you can follow along with all the steps I'm gonna show you. And it's a free trial, no credit card required or anything like that. If it's not for you, perfectly fine, but you might as well try it out and see if it's for you. So let's dig in the pros and the cons of Scalenut. This is the back end of Scalenut. I paid for the software here. I'm in a growth plan. And I just want to show you a few features, things I like and things I like a little bit less, so just still need a little bit of work. Now let's say I would like to write a blog about AI creativity. That's a good topic to write about, very common these days. I wanted to rank for these main keywords, but also for artificial intelligence and maybe a few other ones. Maybe AI is quite relevant as a search word, but the main keyword is the main thing. Now you can compete with the top 10, which is a default. You can also increase a little bit. Let's start creating it. Now this will take a little bit of time for the software to create an article for you. That is fine with me. This is not a point of criticism. I'm happy to wait a minute or two to create it well. There are a few points that I think could be done better, and I'll show them to you in a moment. But just waiting for it to think about it and compare to other articles that are out there, that's perfectly fine. They could have done it better. Now it is extracting the key related terms based on my competitors that are also ranking for these keywords. Now it's done, and now it's ready for writing. I can see here, okay, this is my keyword, AI creativity. My target country is United States. It's in cruise mode. I'm gonna say, right. Let's say make it in depth, be fact-based, and say give some key inputs. Okay. Now, let's say the tone of voice I would like to be professional and friendly. You can set that as well in the settings. That is fairly easy. Now the process starts, and it has a few steps. Here in the top right, you have all the steps we're going through, and I'll walk you through in detail. Here we have a few generated title ideas. Now, important to me is that I have the keyword in there. Key insert is pretty good already, but maybe I want a little bit more. Unleashing the battles, unraveling. I think an analysis is something that is better than just quite a generic title. I think that shows off more that you have some interesting things to share. Now it's extracting the insights from top competitors to crafting the SEO optimized outline for me. This might take about 30 seconds. Once again, I'm perfectly fine with that. It's okay if it takes a bit of time to think. And now we have here an outline. Now this is where one of the stronger points are for the software, because you can chop and change the parts how you would like to write. You can say I want to add another H3, and it already has this formatting in H2 and H3, and that's definitely a feature that ChatGPT doesn't have. So you can on a very detailed level, you can create a few things into your article that I think could be relevant for your audience, and it makes it very personal as well. So you can go through this outline, compare AI, the impact of AI and creativity, and you can just keep on adding H3 talking points that could be useful. It is generating new points if the original ones are not right for you. You can also just delete entire things if you think, okay, this one I don't like, and that way you get it more personalized. Now for the question sections, you can also use FAQ schema code for Google to rank in that snippet. However, like you can add a few things. However, Google did warn that this is being outphased in the near future, so it may not be relevant for you. But for now, you might as well include it if you have the schema code. So now it's writing the writing points. So in this outline, You already gave it the H2 and H3, and it will definitely write on that, but it's also thinking about like, okay, what should be the content in there, and that is what's coming in here. So here it has like all the writing points, like the thought starters for the software to create this piece for you. Now here are already quite a few things that are quite interesting, creative thinking, and all that. If there's some writing points you're like, okay, I don't like it, you can just delete it. Or you can say, I want to add a few more. Let's say, how to differ from human creativity. That's a good topic, and so forth. Now, the more, of course, data you give it here, you can also just write it yourself. That's perfectly fine. What you can also do is just look up some facts that are about this topic. So AI suggests is more generated. Facts is more for the search engine result pages that you can also draw from. So here we have a bit more factual based writing points, and just that avoids it being fluffy, and I thought that is very strong about Scalenut. The other thing you could do is look into the SERP statistics, and this is here looking like what are the writing points that other articles that rank well for this topic, for this keyword, are ranking for. Now this is both a strong part and also a weakness. A strong part is that you can just drag and drop SERP statistics, like relevant things that other platforms or blogs ranked for, put it into your own writing points as well. This is not plagiarism, you're only borrowing topics, and that is perfectly fine. For example, this is a good point. I want it also in my article, so I'm just dragging that along, and that will also be part of my writing point. The only thing that's a bit of a drawback is that not all of these SERP statistics are relevant. Like here, for example, this is part of a study. It's good to include some scientific evidence in your article, of course, but this is very detailed, and if I would include this writing point in it, that would not really make sense as much. So always keep an eye out for if these SERP statistics make sense. Now, when you scroll through it, you can check if everything is okay. You can, of course, again, delete things that are not right for you, and then you just click on Generate Content. So now it is creating the content for me. This is where usually ChatGPT starts from context straight to where we're now, but now you already have that outline for you, and with these intermediate steps, you get a more richer result. Now, when I read through this article, I think, okay, pretty good, but let's say I like this one, but I want it different, and this is a very strong point. You can just say, generate this part for me, but not the entire article. Whereas with ChatGPT, you can do it in certain ways, but not as precise as this one. You can say expand it. You can say, okay, now I want to shorten this point. Then it does that. You can say instead, I want it to be in bullet points, and then it gives the same points, but just in bullet points. Or you can just go into cruise mode, and this is very strong. Here you can say, setting creativity, draw. For example, I'm just putting it in now, but now it will, you can enter how you would like it to be, what angle you would like it to come from. So basically this is the Cruise AI is a mini prompt within the larger article. Whereas with ChatGPT, you need to go back and forth, and also some of the other platforms, you don't have that option to go this precise. Now you can do that for all the ones. And if you say, okay, what I generated here is not entirely right, I want to go back to that one, and then that one is on top again. So you can just chop and change as often as you want, and that is very strong. By the way, without causing you any credits to expire. So you can just play around with it as much as you want. This is very strong. This is a very strong point, and I really think this is why Scalenut is a winner in this game. I'll show you a few drawbacks in a moment. It does include a free to ask question as well, and of course conclusion section. If you want it to sound less AI, you can say again, you can do the same things, rephrase it, use cruise mode, and chop and change as often as you want. Now let's say I like it as it is. I go to the export editor, and here in the editor, like it has this SEO score, it tells me what points could be better. Let's say in the H1 heading, one issue is found. It's probably a keyword that's not included. And yeah, there it says, it tells me, okay, this is a better H1 heading than the one that was before. And it gives me new suggestions for H1. And here we see all the different variations that it provides here for me. So let's say I replace with that one. Now in this mode, I can now resume editing. I can change a few things here, or I can just start, write some more. etc. Now, if you say, okay, I like this part, but I'm not entirely convinced on how it should be, I can go back to the cruise mode. But you can also say, keep writing here. So it's thinking now about the article. Say, okay, it is thinking about this part, and it keeps on writing a few additional points on the topic that I wrote about. This is also the weakness at the same time. This is not always as accurate as I would like it to be. So the better way to do that is back into cruise mode. I have informed Scalenut about this drawback, and they're currently working on it. So let's see how it goes, but that's okay. So I'm just going to replace it. Fine. Now, I think this is already a good article. Of course, you need to read it thoroughly to ensure that it is right for your audience and it doesn't have any weird ideas. Now, it does have a few more things that could be done better. You can go through all these points, but you can also just solve that within your WordPress editor yourself. Now, when you go to apps, there's a WordPress publisher, and then you can export this directly into WordPress. And that is very strong because that's not something that ChatGPT has on some of the other platforms. You can just select the domain that you would like it to be posted to. Let's say this is my website, Aixplainer, and now I could schedule it in there. You can set a featured image as you used to, and then once it is in WordPress, you can further optimize it using your favorite SEO app. I think this is very strong and very much a winner. Now, as I promised you, I'll give you an honest review, and I'm also going to show you a few things that I think are a little bit weaker. So let's say we're going to go to Keyword Planner, which is a good start. Let's say we have the same AI creativity, and we're just going to plan for this keyword and see how it stacks up against my competition. Now, this will take a few minutes, as we saw before. Now, waiting time is again not a point of criticism, but the thing is that the keywords that it is giving me here is not entirely as good as some of the other platforms are out there. So don't think that Scalenut will replace your Ahrefs or your SEMrush or your other SEO tool that is on the market, because it is not as strong yet. I have informed customer support about it. They said they're on it, so maybe by the time you're watching this video, this problem is already solved. But I just want to give you an honest review and point out that this is still something that needs a little bit of work. That does not mean that you cannot use the keyword generator at all, the keyword planner. You can definitely use it for insights, and you can use it for planning. But as we'll see in a moment, it is perhaps not the most strongest one that is out there on the market. So now it's done. I'm opening the report. Here it gives me the keyword difficulty and the search volume. I doubt that AI and creativity has only a keyword difficulty of 14, which I think is like it sounds a bit too easy for the search volume and for how hot this topic currently is. When I expand on it, I see that it's actually an average of like higher keyword difficulties, like 52. This makes more sense, like it's a competitive keyword. But then some of them are having a lower keyword difficulty, and therefore that averages out to this very favorable keyword difficulty of 14. So that is a bit of a flaw in the system that I think needs some work, but other than that, pretty decent. Now, there's a third feature I'd like to show you in this thing, and that is the content optimizer. Now, in the content optimizer, you can do the same thing as you did in the article writer, but you can just enter the URL that you would like to optimize and the keywords, and then it starts to optimize the articles that you've already written. So that is pretty decent as well for things that are already written and how you can do better. Finally, I'd like to show you the marketing copywriter. This is a very strong one. Here you have all kinds of things like project feature list, introductions, blog title generator, blog ideas, and all these ways in how you can improve your writing. Or if you need only a little thing like a video title or a hook and introduction, it does it for you. One of the things that I personally like is these one on the bottom, like the typical marketing ways and how to grab attention, interest, desire, action, very common way of writing, problem, agitate, solution. So it's a known ways of writing that used to work well on the web. And if you click on that, you can see that you can just start with your own brand. Let's say your brand is about pets, pet food, let's put it that way. And my description is this is of course, I'm just making it up, but just let's see what comes out of that. And now it will generate for me a problem agitate solution on how to field your goldfish. It will, here it has all the results, the problems, the agitate, and then the solution. And you can say, okay, I'm happy with this one. It will now copy that into the, oh, there we go. Add to editor. It copies into the editor, and now you can ask it to instruct, like write more, think about it, and keep on coming with great ideas about this content. You can also say, okay, I don't want that. I'm just going to do my own thing and then use that. So this is a good way to get thought starters. However, I still think the article writer is the strongest point. The other ones, keyword planner, marketing copywriter, are also good, but maybe not as strong. Traffic analyzer still has a bit of work, but that's fine. The team is working on it. I think it's very strong. It's also priced currently at a very long price compared to all the other platforms that are out there. So that's maybe something to keep in mind. But try that for yourself. Use the free link to test it out and see how you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.